So we have the rather interesting case of Keir Starmer and roguish good looks, boyish, pretty young boys who appear to have some grudge against him. We don't know why. It's a bit of a mystery. You can speculate. I did a daily video on this, trying to get to the bottom of why it is that these very pretty young men.
No pun intended.
Yes,
getting to the bottom of it.
No, none at all. None at all. As to why they have this enormous grudge against the Prime Minister and how they seem to know where he was living. And what car he was driving only a few years ago.
That was the very first thing I thought. They said it was some flat in North London somewhere. And I'm like,
yes.
I thought that would be a secret, like a sort of a state secret.
I don't know where the Prime Minister lives. But
there's a flat
live, for that matter.
But these pretty young boys do.
Because there's a flat above number 10, and you got Chequers.
Oh, I know about 10 Downing Street.
But where he used to live.
Yes.
Yeah, who would... Anyway.
As well as his car, a RAV4 Toyota.
Yes.
They found out about which car he had previously. And they found 2 of his properties, not 1, which suggests a long-term association, shall we say?
That, or just MI5 told them. Or someone told them. Or
some intelligence.
Ukrainian intelligence services.
But they are all Ukrainian.
That is odd, isn't it?
Yes.
That's odd. All of them.
What are the,
I think there
Romanian
might be one
citizenship?
Romanian or something.
Romanian citizenship, originally Ukrainian.
Oh, okay. So they're all Ukrainian.
So Ukrainian. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And are they, I know it's a bit of a sensitive, perhaps the most sensitive thing, but are they male prostitutes?
Oh, goodness, but we couldn't possibly.
Are we honestly not allowed to?
No. What they are male models, and there are apps that you can go on where if you're sat around on a Saturday night, you've had a bottle of wine, and you just suddenly realise that what you need right now is a male model because you've got a watch that needs a male model.
Okay.
You can go on this app and you can summon a male model to you at short notice if you need.
At short notice.
You need some modelling.
Yeah. If you need some modelling
at home in your home.
Yes.
Okay.
So and it appears that we know that some of these very, very pretty young men.
I don't know. The middle one's a bit rough, isn't he?
Not to your taste.
That looks like an ugly person, if you ask me.
Well, maybe it's just a bad shot.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's, I don't know. I don't know.
It's all very short term, so you sort of on short notice
right.
There is a photo of what he looked like.
Maybe get a discount.
There is a photo of what he looked like when Keir Starmer was living in the other property, and he was a lot more boyish, very Owen Jones-ish. He looked like. Yes. So maybe while they were going to male modelling jobs, because presumably they were busy because they're very pretty. So maybe they were busy going to and fro all these male modelling jobs. And whilst walking the streets of London, they saw Keir Starmer coming out of a house and going into a car. Maybe that's how they know.
Just happened to see it.
Yes.
And his foreign policy isn't good enough for them, from the Ukrainians, and so they're taking revenge.
Oh, well, I presume it's the...
Doesn't make any sense, does it? None of this adds up.
It is very odd.
It doesn't add
I'll
up.
give you that.
even stranger is that nobody in the media is asking about this.
Yes.
Well, that's funny, isn't it?
That these guys would be on these apps, would know where the Prime Minister lives,
Yes.
and would have enough reason. I mean, it seems one of them was the arsonist, and the others were accomplices. These are the allegations so far.
Right.
We don't know that for a fact, but these are the allegations. But then, what exactly is the nature of the relationship? Was this an intelligence operation by a foreign adversary that decided that there is a strategic importance to an old RAV4? Or to a property in which he no longer lived?
Yeah.
Or was this personal? Or was this... Anyway.
Yes.
That's a very good question. Like, what did they think? They probably, I would have thought, I'm guessing, weren't trying to actually assassinate him. So what are you doing? Why are you burning up his old car, or a car that he's not in or anywhere near? What? So you're sending so you're sending a message.
Well, you
of
do
some type.
You do.
Why?
You do get
Why?
This, I'm sure these young men have. Well, actually, didn't Keir Starmer said that he knew one of them. He played cards with one of them, or something.
What?
I don't know. Maybe that's something I heard.
In
that
what
might be wrong.
possible
I don't know.
way would
But maybe
a senior.
Yes.
It doesn't make any sense, does it?
But maybe look, I'm sure Keir Starmer has probably never met these very pretty young men. But if one intelligence services had any compromat, I'm sure that it wouldn't be in their interest to use it. But maybe it might be in somebody else's interest to get the story to come to light. I don't know. Only speculate.
Well, there's some 4D chess going on somewhere.
We have to speculate wildly because the mainstream media has decided that they can't talk about this.
Yeah,
for whatever reason.
It might be a D notice. Do you know about D notices?
Yes.
Do you think maybe that's going on? That's why the mainstream media is just not saying anything.
Yes, but we're not covered. We haven't.
Yeah, no one's been in contact with us, have they?
So
no one's emailed us.
Yeah, we can say whatever we like until we get arrested anyway. But yeah, so very odd, and so these three pretty young chaps, for some reason are involved in this way, and there's a fourth man.
The fourth man.
The fourth. Here we go. Fourth man arrested over fires at homes linked to the Prime Minister. So what does this say? A fourth man has been arrested over a series of fires connected to the Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer. The police have said. So he's an arsonist as well. He's a Ukrainian as well.
Whoa.
Is it Potronok?
No, that's not him. That's a previous one. We don't know what his nationality is.
No, I'm pretty sure this one is Ukrainian as well. I read it somewhere. I don't know. Maybe I'll come back to that. But I got the impression the other one was a Ukrainian as well. But maybe I could be wrong at that. So the last line here says the other fire took place on May 11th at the front door of a house converted into flats that was presumably associated with the Prime Minister. I mean, I do hope that the
I think his sister-in-law was living there. I might have that wrong, but I read somewhere that. Yes. Anyway,
but I do hope the front door of the Prime Minister is safe, and I hope that the back door of the Prime Minister is safe from these very pretty young men.
No comment.
The Prime Minister's doors should not be violated in any way. That is important. So anyway, for multiple reasons, and we don't want to be arrested, so we move swiftly on.
A man's front and back door is his own private kingdom, sir. Should defend it with his life. No, it is. No, it's super weird. It's super weird.
Yes.
Whatever it is, even if it is just some sort of to do with his personal life, even if it's just as simple as that.
Yes.
Then. Talk about the Profumo affair. This is actually bad. They're firebombing stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it's proper criminal things. It's not just a disgrace. It's not just embarrassing, personally. It's actually...
I can't
crimes are happening.
I have a feeling there's going to be a huge amount of trouble in getting the documents for the trial.
Yes. What are they going to say?
What are they going to charge them with exactly? Yep. In addition to the existing charges, what are they going to say? Will any of them take the witness stand?
Yes. Because somebody's going to ask, how did you know the Prime Minister? And maybe the Prime Minister...
How will their defence lawyer argue their case?
Yes.
Because one of them is 21, and Keir Starmer has been Prime Minister for a year, and in some of these properties he hasn't been involved for several years.
So if you do the maths...
That 21-year-old would have been 17.
Yes.
And so there are ridiculous questions around this.
Yes.
Why
would the Prime Minister need a 17-year-old male model? If indeed he knows him, we don't know. Yes.
The media should be salivating over this. The Times should be all over this. The Telegraph should be all over this. Let alone the sort of other media outlets.
It is bizarre.
And we hear nothing.
I presume they haven't covered it as much as we haven't covered it on the basis that we don't want to be arrested, because Keir Starmer basically just arrests people who he doesn't like, and this one, I mean, you don't have to think about it too long before you start thinking, oh, maybe there's something a little bit suspicious going on here, and
it is obviously straight off the bat odd. It's the only way of saying it, right? It's just doesn't add up.
I was going to disagree with you when you said it's obviously straight, but you went on.
Okay.
Yes. Anyway, so for this reason, I've taken a look at the betting odds for the year that Keir Starmer's replaced. Now, he's still favourite to leave after the next election, but the odds are narrowing of him leaving sooner. And for that reason, we have to think about, okay, well, who is going to replace him? And here's Betfair with their betting odds of who's going to replace him.
His fave, Wes Streeting. Oh my God! Imagine Prime Minister Streeting.
Well, I thought, wouldn't it be fun? Wouldn't it be fun to do some top trumps on the possible alternatives? So I have put together. This is what I spent my morning doing: Labour top trumps. I'll whiz through these. I don't want to spend too long on it, but I'll whiz through these, and you can tell me if you think we're sort of on the mark here. So I've done a card for Keir Starmer here.
Those numbers out of 10?
Out of 5.
Oh, out of 5. Okay. Oh,
yes.
Right.
So he is experienced because he's head of the CPS. He's a barrister. He's been Prime Minister for a while now, so he's got experience. Intellect for Labour. These are all for Labour.
Okay.
He's reasonably smart. He lacks imagination. Charisma, he doesn't have any.
None.
Probably should have given him 0.
I think you should have included soul there and then give him a negative number.
Yeah. Yes, could have done that. Yeah, leftism. He's a communist, so he's actually quite lefty as they go, even within Labour.
Yeah.
So that gives us our baseline, and so this is Wes Streeting, the Health Secretary. The problem with Wes, right, is look at that majority, 500.
Right.
Oh yeah. That's tiny.
Yeah.
That's really small. He could lose his seat next time, easy peasy.
Yep.
Yes. Almost certainly he's going to lose his seat.
What is his constituency out of interest?
Don't
worry about it if you don't have it.
No, I can look it up.
I wonder if
Ilford North.
Ilford?
Yes. You know that one?
Yeah. That's East London, Essex. That's my manor.
Oh, right, okay.
A massive Muslim population, in other words.
Oh, okay,
or foreign, at least foreign, might be Indian and Bangladeshi, but...
Right.
Yeah, that could easily flip to...
So he's almost 100% going to be replaced by Islamist MP next time?
Quite possibly Ilford.
Right. Okay. So
Ilford's like Delhi.
Right.
Anyway,
well,
I've made the point.
Delhi's Hindu, isn't it?
I've made the point.
Okay.
Yeah, subcontinent.
He's that bit.
Yeah.
So he's the favourite, but I think we can rule him out, even though he has got a little bit of charisma and he can talk to camera, and all that kind of stuff. Yvette Cooper, very experienced. She's been a cabinet minister under Blair and Brown. She's been around. Reasonably smart as a Labour goes. Not much in the way of charisma, this one.
She's looking more and more demon-like.
Yes. She's married to Red Bulls, isn't she?
The inner demon is becoming more and more visibly obvious.
Yes. She's got a decent majority of 6,000, so she could probably survive.
It's not great, 6,000.
Back in the day, a small majority was under 20,000, but these days, it's a bit more competitive, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah, 15, 20 years ago, I'd say 6,000's decent, but not now. You could flip 6,000.
Yes.
6,000 could be flipped.
Well, yeah, but not a lot of people have much better than that. I mean, we see how we go on some of them. But she's got fairly low odds. Only you make £12 on a pound bet on her. So
also, I'd say she's a big beast, like a party grandee. That counts for a lot, right?
Yes.
So it's also about what sort of block of supporters you can get within the parliamentary party, right?
Yes.
So someone like Yvette Cooper, I think, I've got no special insight, but I think someone like Yvette Cooper will be able to get a bigger number of supporters within the party than someone like Wes Streeting.
Yes, that's true.
I would have thought.
Yeah, I think she's a credible candidate on a number of
fronts.
Yeah. This is Dr. Nima Parvini's top pick, Angela Rayner.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I've got a broken
leftism a score of 5, a score of 4. She should be, on a scale of 5, she should be a 6, no?
Yeah, and you've given her an intellect of 2. Why are you simping? She's a 0, obviously. She's a full-blown stupid person, right?
Yeah. I mean, she's common, so therefore she talks,
I'm common.
Us Labours, our Keir, that kind of stuff.
Like her political acumen, her ability to debate, all those sorts of things are non-existent.
I'll tell you why I gave her a 2, is because she's smart. She's not one of those stupid people who think she's clever. she's one of those stupid people who realizes she's stupid and knows when to shut up, and she has been doing that.
Fair point.
And that was basically Parvini's argument, is that she's like now the creature of the Dark Lord. So she kind of falling into line with that. She has got charisma though.
If you're into that kind of stuff,
right?
Yes.
Right.
If you're willing, yes.
Yeah, if you're working class, you think she's a proper.
So I don't find her charismatic at all, but I get what you mean. Some people will.
Yes.
Some people will.
Apparently this played well, her going to Ibiza and throwing up a Roman to Auf Wiederland Rouse, or whatever it was that they were playing.
Auslander Rouse.
Auslander Rouse.
Is that what she's not?
I don't think it was. But anyway, whatever track they were playing.
I thought this was one of the most cringeworthy things ever. I found that, like, you're really throwing your political dignity down the toilet.
It worked for the Finnish Prime Minister for a while, until it stopped.
Yeah, until it doesn't.
Oh, she was tasty, wasn't she? Was it the Finnish? Yes.
Again, the majority not that gigantic, and she's in an Islamist area as well, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, no, she was the one who was begging for
Pakistanis for their votes, yes.
And actually, yeah, she might lose that as well. And she's Deputy Prime Minister, so she's
quite a
she's credible. She's got low odds. Andy Burnham, he's not an MP. He's the mayor of Manchester, and he's doing pretty well in that. So they'd need to shoehorn him into a seat. But he's got executive experience. He's reasonably smart as a socialist goes. He's
been around for a long time.
Yeah, he's got some. I wouldn't say. Maybe I'm being a bit generous on charisma, but he can talk to camera. He can do the thing. He can do the. He won't ever come across as charismatic, but he could do the serious statesman type stuff.
He can do the Teflon Dave Cameron thing of appearing bulletproof.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think he's a credible candidate. Who else have got? Oh, Rachel Reeves, the woman,
the woman who wrecked the British economy single-handedly.
I mean, she's wildly out of her depth. She should be running the finances for a bathroom fitters in Dagenham or something, not Chancellor of the Exchequer.
Yeah. Although decent majority there.
Yeah.
The 12,000 is, she'll probably keep her seat next time, probably, you would have thought.
If they get stuck with her, it would be hilarious. If sort of all of the big names that Labour have, she ends up being the one that sort of survives.
Yes.
It would be quite funny.
There are some even funnier, but I do take your point. Yeah.
I feel like you're being generous with the charisma again. Like, I don't see... Again, she's like an annoying mid-level HR Karen.
They are
How is that a charisma
They are
3?
Scaled for Labour.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Everything's scaled for Labour.
Fair enough.
I'll give you.
Fair enough.
I didn't know who this woman was.
Yeah,
this
who
morning.
the fuck is that guy? Who is that? I don't know. Honestly, don't know.
Education Secretary.
She's our equity. Okay.
She's got reasonably low odds, 30-1.
I'm not sure I've ever heard of her before. That's telling, isn't it?
Doesn't she have something to do with the women's portfolio as well?
Oh, probably. I don't know.
Oh, wait, I have...
And didn't she get struck by a very unfortunate case of blindness and deafness that led her to completely not hearing about the Pakistani rape gangs?
Oh, right, that one.
Yeah.
Right.
I have...
Is that not her?
I have seen her come up before a couple of times. Yeah, she is also, again, sort of an intellect and charisma vacuum type person. Just obviously a career party person and nothing else.
Right.
But she hasn't got name recognition, right? Most people...
I didn't know who she was.
Right.
So, and I follow politics quite closely.
Right, yeah.
So there's that. Who was it? Darren Jones. He's got reasonable odds. I mean, these are not the tightest, but they're contenders, and he's apparently Chief Secretary to the Treasury, which I think is what Rishi Sunak was before being propelled to Chancellor. So it's a route for people that they like.
I've seen him talking on TV before, and he's it's that classic professional politician robot thing of towing the party line, never answering a question straight, just answering a different question, just all that nonsense, just the same
very
old...
much in the mould then.
Just the same old crap.
Right. But apparently he's got a tech background. He was like the lawyer for BT or something. But
okay,
great.
They're all lawyers. I mean, they're all either trade unionists or lawyers. Lisa Nandy.
Oh God.
She
only just eaten. Don't.
Well, she looks like the sort of woman who would cause a scene in a restaurant. I mean, I wouldn't want to be sat next to her table because she's going to pick a fight with somebody or the waiter or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm being unkind.
I honestly won't go into any detail about my feelings about Lisa Nandy. Suffice to say, I find her a despicable person.
Right.
On many, many levels. An actual fifth columnist type.
Right.
Yes, fair enough. David Lammy.
God.
Is the best outcome not a David Lammy versus Kemi Badenoch general election?
It would be the funniest thing to happen.
Yes.
It would be hilarious, and I would pay to see that debate. I don't care what, I would buy tickets for that debate. I would do anything to see that debate. It would be the funniest thing. I don't think any of them could form a cogent thought and run with it. Remember when David Lammy thought that the black smoke coming out of the Vatican was racist?
Yeah.
How could you forget? Like,
He also went on Celebrity Mastermind and got the lowest score that had ever been recorded.
Some of the answers on that, anyone look it up. On his general knowledge, it was like a comedy sketch.
It really was. It really was.
It was sort of beyond embarrassing. If the tactic of the globalists,
Yes,
or whatever, whoever you want to say, the cabal that's trying to destroy the West, if their strategy really is one of humiliation, to humiliate us,
yes,
by putting someone like a dementia-riddled Biden in charge,
yes,
to give us Lammy, to force Lammy on us, I would really buy that more, that it is a strategy of humiliation.
Yes.
I talk about Rayner being just a straight-up stupid person. Lammy is...
Oh, he's extra stupid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it's super low IQ, no general knowledge of the world. It's embarrassing, it's humiliating enough that he's the head of the FCO. To make him Prime Minister...
A few years ago, he was going on about how there were no police officers on the street.
I remember that, yeah.
Which was a legitimate complaint, and there was one behind him.
Yeah, right there.
Who was actually not there for him. He was sort of doing his beat. And
yes,
this guy is just unfortunate.
Just one last time, just saying, go out there and Google, YouTube him on Celebrity Mastermind.
I watched it this
laughed
morning.
Your socks off.
It is quite funny. But, right, he's got reasonable odds and he's got a decent majority, so he'd be sticking around. So he is actually a proper contender. Shabahan Mahmoud. You might have a
Shabana
Mahmoud.
Right, yes.
Yeah. She was an unknown until this government came in, really.
Right.
She became the Justice Secretary and is responsible for things like, well, all of the things that you see that are going on with the justice system. That falls under her remit and that of nice Mr. A.G. Harmer.
So the fallout from the Southport stuff
the grooming
comes across her desk.
Grooming gangs inquiry not happening, that would be her.
Very
also, she was the first female Muslim MP, apparently.
Is that right?
Interesting.
Again, the majority not particularly healthy.
No, not a good majority at all.
Healthy.
No great charisma. So she's
65 to 1 odds. That's sort of really bad.
This person is apparently on this. This one surprised me because, right?
She hasn't even got the whip.
Did she lose the whip?
I think she did, yeah. I think she...
Did she?
I might be wrong, but I thought right in day one, first week, Starmer took it away from a bunch of people. So I think she was one of them.
For a long
might be
time,
wrong.
I thought that she was a parody account. Because there is a Twitter account which basically uses a porn star's face and gives it an MP's and says MP after the name. And it's a parody account.
Okay.
And I just mentally mixed up Zara Sultana with that account for ages. And at some point I realised, oh no, actually that's a real MP.
Yep.
But she has a very strong social media presence and the young leftists love her.
Yeah.
So she scores well on charisma and leftism. But I didn't know she'd lost the whip, so...
I might be wrong, but the charisma thing, I mean, maybe even geared towards Labour people and even in other people's eyes. Still, I don't find her charismatic. She's really obnoxious.
Yes.
She's really, really obnoxious.
And I don't suggest that she does her hair like that again, because she's done that thing where she's pulled her ponytail so tight that she just looks permanently surprised.
I mean, she's got the opposite. If I've got a receding hairline, she's got a preceding, a preceder.
Yes. Very little room left for the face on the head.
Again, a fifth columnist, straight up enemy of the people, enemy of the state, essentially, I would argue.
Yes.
Disgusting person.
But she makes the Betfair list, and it's not wild odds, 130. I mean, it's up there. But it's
are they odds from the betting site or ones you've
No, that's
you've
from,
made up?
No, from here we go.
It is from Betfair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I just took the here we go,
Right.
whatever's in that column.
Fair enough. No, fair enough. So someone seriously has looked at it and tried to calculate the
Oh no, he's not. That will be the arbitrage between backers and layers.
Between say again.
The people backing it and laying it. So
okay.
So that will just be the arbitrage out between them.
Okay.
Jess Phillips. Now this would be the funniest outcome because Carl would have to move to somewhere without an extradition treaty. you know, Carl and her have a bit of background.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Carl moves to Buenos Aires.
They used to date. No, not really. It was something else. The point is, right? If she comes in, Carl has to leave the country.
She's not going to make it.
She's totally losing her seat next time.
Yeah.
I thought her majority was even smaller than that, but she's gonna lose her seat next time.
Yes.
Unless the party move her around, can they just do that?
They can.
I think they can just do that.
They can do whatever they want in turn. They allocate the seating based on whether or not central headquarters likes you.
All right, yeah. You do get people parachuted into somewhere.
This is how Keir Starmer ended up parachuted into Holborn, right?
All right. Yeah. Okay.
There's more of a bias against doing it when you've already got a seat.
Yeah,
they do sometimes do it. Yeah.
Again, charisma 4 out of 5. Are you sure? Who thinks that?
Socialists. This is scaled for Labour.
Okay.
Socialists.
Let's run with it. Let's run with it.
Well,
fair enough.
All right.
This is a probably more credible candidate actually. Sadiq Khan. He's the Mayor of London, so he's not an MP. But again, they could just parachute him into a safe seat, short notice. Loads of experience. He's actually quite smart. I mean, he's evil and he represents the wrong people and all that kind of stuff. And he's a fifth columnist and he's all about complete demographic replacement. But he is smart and he's dangerous. Yeah. His charisma is strong. Again, for socialists, he can do very well on camera. He's very good on interviews and stuff like that. He's pretty leftist. The reason I only put him up to 3 is because actually at some point his leftism veers into tribalism, but not for the British tribe.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
So,
his socialism is all just a front for.
It really is
tribalism.
It very obviously is. If you look at the X account of Muslim Labour, you'll see a near perfect overlap between the most leftist positions and the most pro-Islamist positions, and they sort of use that very, very effectively. And he's the guy who's mastered that game.
Yes. But I think he is probably one of the strongest, most credible candidates. So I think his odds are a bit high there, 65. I might back that just because I think there's something in the odds there.
Why not put your money where your mouth is? Bung 20 quid. Sadiq Khan to be PM.
Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Why not?
Leader of the Labour Party, not necessarily PM.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you think it's going to happen before the next election, I suppose that's by default. I had to mention he's another credible candidate, David Miliband. David Miliband. I put his brother up on the left so you wouldn't confuse. So this is always funny for me, right? So these two are brothers. They're both big beasts in the Labour Party. David is smart, urbane, good interviewer. Calculating, serious contender, and his brother is an absolute prat, right? And these two went up for Labour leader, and Labour chose Ed over David.
Yeah,
well, it's because of the odd way they did it, right? You could have a second vote and a third vote, and you tally it all up, and you just pipped him
because the trade unionists wanted Ed.
Yeah,
he's more lefty. And at that point, David was like, sod this, and he left, and he became something big at Facebook, and now he runs, what does he run? International Rescue.
Yeah.
So would these be the guys bringing boats, or?
I think they're the Thunderbirds, aren't they?
Oh.
I don't know.
But David Miliband, he's again got that Teflon thing about him. He was Foreign Secretary, wasn't he, for a while? He's been around ever since the Blair years. But I think, I might be wrong, of course. Don't know what's going on in his life, but I think he's ruled out ever coming back to frontline politics.
Quite possibly. He'd be earning more money.
Because Ed is in the cabinet right now, right?
Yes.
And David isn't even an MP.
I mean, it is bizarre.
Yeah.
So he would need to be parachuted back in. I think he's got quite tight odds given mainly the thing that you said, that he doesn't want to come back. It's been quite clear that he's making a lot more money and having an easier life outside of politics. But so I probably wouldn't back that one. But
he's also a bloody red. He's not like he is a full blown. Their family are Marxists.
Yeah. Right.
So it's not like David Miliband will come back and we'll have a good government.
No, he's less left wing than his brother, but still scaled for Labour.
Yeah.
And then I just thought I'll throw in one for why not throw in one for Kemi just to show her odds. She's 11.5. I put her leftism down at 1.
I didn't know her majority was so small.
Yep.
Didn't know that. Should have known that. Wow. Okay.
So her odds are 11.5 compared to the Nige. His odds are only 3.3. He's got very low odds of being the next Prime Minister.
Very high odd. Never mind.
Whichever way.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a decent bet. I mean, you might not even get much. We won't get much back for your money, but
yep. Decent majority as well, especially given it was an outsider party. I put his leftism down to 0. Again, this is scaled for Labour because he's basically just a centrist who doesn't challenge any of the assumptions of the left-wing paradigm.
Yeah. So
I left him at 0, which is to say, not left-wing by Labour standards, but still dirty centrist. He is very charismatic. You got to give him that.
Interesting with the Movember tash going on in that picture.
Yeah,
indeed. He's pretty smart. And he's experienced. I mean, not in Westminster perhaps, but he's been in politics for a long time. So I had to put his experience up, and he's got a decent majority, so that's good.
I mean, that is the thing about his charisma. We've personally, I have thrown shade at Nigel a whole load of times, but you cannot deny his charisma, his ability to speak.
Yes.
It cannot be denied. I went to the Reform conference 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And people are up there, even some of the other big people, like Tice and stuff, they get up and they talk and it's interesting. Anne Widdecombe, Nige comes in and there is a little bit of electric.
Yep.
Yes.
And he does work the crowd a bit.
Yep.
Yes.
He's very effective at that.
Got to give him that.
So, before I close off, the granddaddy of them all, this is Base Stop Trumps, Rupert Lowe, experience 5, long business career, city banker, chairman of Southampton FC, led multiple financial and agricultural businesses preventing politics, intellect 5, sharp as a tack this guy, charisma 5, leftism -5.
Boom. I didn't know his majority was that small either. I knew it wasn't big, but that is actually pretty tight.
Well, I mean, he wasn't expected to win. He wasn't supposed to win, but he got through anyway. And actually, his majority will be a lot bigger next time.
I hope so. I think so.
Almost
a
certainly.
very good constituency MP.
Yeah, everyone says that.
It's been a very good constituency MP. That seems to be the consensus.
And his odds are surprisingly low. I mean, look at that, 42. I mean, that's lower than some of the people who are actually in the cabinet now.
Yeah.
So that is decent. So we leave that there.
We've been complaining about what appears to be the intentional degradation of our educational system for years now. If you went through the state school system in the UK, as I did, you will know exactly what I mean. Just listen to the man in the street interviews from the 1960s compared to those done now, and it is crystal clear that those people then have something that we don't have now. Put simply, we're being dumbed down by the powers that be on purpose, but we don't have to accept this perpetual lowering of standards. We are still a free people, and it's time to do something about it. This is why we have created courses.lotuseaters.com, a platform on which we are now offering courses which are tailor-made to reconstruct the education that has been denied to us. The first course we have available is Dr. Nima Parvini's Excellent Trivium, a tripartite course consisting of logic, grammar, and rhetoric, which is the foundation and backbone of a classical education. This course will make you a better writer, speaker, and thinker, and it used to be that every 12-year-old in the country would take it. Personally, I will be doing this course with my own children to ensure they get the benefits of it for their whole lives, but it's never too late to do it, and I really think you should. We will also be producing many other courses in the future on subjects which are not topics of idle interest, but which instead will level you up as a person and make you more effective in the real world. I want to be clear, these are not YouTube videos. They are university-level lectures and coursework with a test at the end to which you will have to apply yourself. In these, we are not offering you an easy life. We are offering you the foundations of what you will need to be a part of the ascent of our civilization out of the hole that was dug for us. They are not easy, but they are rewarding. They are an investment in yourself that will provide you with skills that you will use for the rest of your life. Courses.lotuseaters.com. We will see you there.